Ireland is a country where the motorcycle road racing spirit runs deeper than anywhere else in the world. Here is considered by many as the true home of the sport. And across the BBC, we have another season of high-speed action covered from every angle.
Like a rocket. Oh, look at that. Oh, and he's made it through. Extremely brave. Oh, Dean Harrison up on the curve. Side by side. Away we go. How close do you like it? Another victory for Michael Dunlop. What a way to spend your week here in Northern Ireland.
Another year of this adrenaline-pumping sport gets underway here in County Tyrone with the Bear Competition's Cookstown 100. It's Ireland's oldest and longest-running motorcycle road race. It's been going for over 100 years. And the Cookstown is one of 4 road races taking place in Northern Ireland this year, along with the Armoy Race of Legends, the Tandragee 100 and the North West 200, which is Northern Ireland's biggest homegrown outdoor sporting event. But it all starts here, and headlining is the biggest name in the sport. Michael Dunlop is popular with the fans, hands-on with his own machines, and electrifyingly fast. 2024 was a record-breaking year for him at the Isle of Man TT. He's just returned from competing in the Le Mans 24-hour race, where he suffered a big crash.
Like, I got up straight away, my ship was up straight away. Obviously I'm black and blue just from the impact, but I don't broke my bones, thankfully, so it was a good job.
Started the road racing season here in Northern Ireland. Why have you decided to come to Cookstown?
I just get some miles in our stuff. We were only home from Bolton last night. We drove all the way through the night to get back to here, so home, change wheels, and back, so hopefully get a run around today and see what happens.
And how are you feeling about this season? Obviously last year was such an historic time for you.
Yeah, look, last year obviously with the way things went, it took a lot of weight off my shoulders. TTU obviously was the main objective. I just a bit disappointed with the Northwest. Obviously picking up an injury here last year before the Northwest hindered me, but I'm looking forward to getting to the Northwest and having a real good go at it. The bikes seem to be looking well. We're a bit of a work to do the Superbike. We've been sort of left high and dry a little bit, and we're trying to work hard to get it done, but hopefully we get out in it very shortly, and hopefully Northwest will put a show on, and then leads us then back to TT.
Pushing Dunlop today will be Michael Sweeney, a former National Road Racer of the Year. After a 6-year break from the Irish roads, Derek McGee is back. The 38-year-old is a former multiple Irish champion. Darrell Tweed is a former Manx Grand Prix winner who's shown some great form at Cookstown in the past. Kevin Keys is a former podium finisher in the BSB Short Circuit Series. And Joe Yeardsley is an impressive newcomer from the Isle of Man. The Cookstown 100 is the shortest of our road races, just 2.1 miles long. It's Michael Dunlop who holds the outright lap record, set 11 years ago, but it still stands. The Oregon circuit always produces some close racing. There's a long start-finish straight before the course winds its way into the countryside with plenty of exciting sections. There's a jump, off-camber bends, before a crossroads to the checkered flag. Well, it's time to go racing. The course car is about to clear the circuit and the bikes are forming on the grid. Now, qualifying yesterday was pretty much washed out by the weather. It's also been raining early this morning, but thankfully the sunshine is now poking through and the track is starting to dry. For our first race, the Supersport class, Derek McGee is in pole position and he's already had a great start to the day. McGee was a start-to-finish winner in the Moto3 125cc. It's a class he's excelled in previously, holding the lap record here since 2018. It's certainly an impressive comeback by the Mullingar man on the Ferraldo Racing machine. Well, pushing Derek McGee will, of course, be Michael Dunlop, who broke his Uncle Joey's record at the Isle of Man TT last year. On commentary for us is Chris Palmer and Dave Moore.
Just over 2 miles in distance. Who will get the best start? Here we go. McGee, good start. Oh, from row 2. That's Darrell Tweed on the Honda. Great start, but look who's in the lead. They come down to Gordon for the very first time. So Dunlop leads.
It's tight there into that corner there, yeah, but Dunlop got the drive with the big Ducati off the line there.
Next wave away, Chalk on bike 10. And Paul Cranston, number 93, the evergreen Paul Cranston. So out of McAdoo, looking back from Darrell Tweed. And that was McGee. So not the best of starts for McGee on the Yamaha.
No, McGee was shaking his head on the line, whether the bike was getting slightly too hot or whatever, and he just missed the start. He sort of got bogged down off the line.
So it's Dunlop from Sweeney as they go around Macney. So here we go.
Yep, there he goes. Yep, just bogged down off the line there.
Michael Sweeney providing the pictures, and then just coming up, Michael
The
Dunlop.
drive from the Ducati, absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Goes to the inside, sort of blocks the corner slightly.
So Michael Dunlop with a cracking start. Sweeney managing to stay with him. Look, it's a really crucial fast right-hand turn this. They come to the crossroads. Inch perfect from Dunlop, using every bit of the road. Sweeney's impressive though, he's staying with him, isn't he? And Sweeney's a tall lad as well.
He is, and it's interesting that the two R6s are staying with the Ducati on drive out of the corners as well. So the R6s that we're looking at are pretty good bikes though. I mean, obviously the McGee bike's an X10 Karting World Championship bike, so yeah, really good machinery.
So Sweeney not quite close enough to Dunlop, however, there's a few changes of position going on. Someone really slow on the brakes into Gordon there as Tweed goes through. There's Paul Cranston.
It just looked like someone ran wide.
He did. Paul Cranston now on 93 ahead of Chalk on bike 10. We're with Kevin Keys. Looks like he's taken a couple of positions going into Gordon. Oh, Branko Bourne. Oh, he's not quite made it. Easy to do, Chris.
Absolutely, yeah.
On more then with Michael Sweeney chasing down, and there, oh, it's McGee. McGee through into second place on the run down to McAdoo. So McGee now into second, Sweeney back into third, and a little wheelie out of Macney from Michael Dunlop. So McGee then has got Dunlop in his sights. Can he close that gap, or can Michael Dunlop, who's been racing a very long time, McGee just coming back to racing today, one win already under his belt.
Yeah, Michael Sweeney just had a look over his shoulder there to make sure there's nobody in close quarters, so yeah, he's possibly might be going to settle for the podium position in third.
Yeah, you would maybe argue that the 1000cc's are more Michael Sweeney, although he's shown how good he is on other machinery, only due to he's so tall. But Michael Sweeney, a regular at Cookstown, overcome some horrendous injuries as well, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, and he's done well to come back from it, to be fair. But Derek McGee there, he's absolutely pushing Michael all the way on his comeback ride after a 6-year break.
So the end of lap 3, that gap between Dunlop and McGee was half a second. Fastest lap of the race so far, Derek McGee, a 1:26.5, just 0.2 quicker than Dunlop. But Dunlop with a decision to make, whether he's going to use that Ducati, as you mentioned at the start of this race, Chris.
Yes, you know, it's funny, the Ducatis are not as powerful as you think, obviously, because it's the next generation bike. They're limited on horsepower and limited on weight and stuff like that, but they've got a lot of torque, so they punch out of the corners really well. I think a good R6 is possibly maybe faster top end, I'm not sure, but the Ducati seems to be weapon of choice for a lot of people these days.
And Michael Dunlop, of course, has pretty much been unbeatable in the Supersport class at the Isle of Man TT in recent years, so he has got a decision to make. He's just been testing, of course. He's come here from Alton Park. He did do a few laps of the circuit in Cheshire in England on that Ducati. Meanwhile, though, McGee having a think he's not close enough for a move into Gorton.
No, and that's a fast R6, last year's World Championship bike. Yeah, I mean, mega bike.
So Michael Sweeney trying to stay with the two guys ahead. He's lost a little bit of time. He's now 3 seconds, just over 3 seconds down at the end of that previous lap.
We need to remember that not many of the guys went out in practice yesterday either, so this run out today is sort of, you know, the first run out they've had, really.
That was Michael Garn we saw on treble 2, just again overshooting. We won't, not the first time we've seen it at Gordon, and it won't be the last time we'll see it again today. Here we go, he's really coming up to this jump. Front goes light. Dunlop versus McGee.
Coming up to lap people now, and it's obviously Derek McGee will be trying to take an advantage from any situation, to be fair. And he's got through.
They've managed to do it, but again, then they've got another rider. It looks like Degnan, I think, that's just ahead of them on the road. But they should take these three along this far straight. A lot of bikes in front, and they have to weave their way through. And McGee, my goodness me, that was close here. Oh, this is crucial. This is crucial coming into Gorton. And Dunlop has not only got to defend from McGee, he's got to make his way through. That's Cranston, not Cranston, sorry, it's 92 that he's just gone past.
Noel Carroll, that is, yeah.
That is, yeah, yeah. Noel Carroll. Cranston's on 93, of course. But they've managed to get through. But what will that do in shaping the outcome of this race?
Yeah. I think McGee's still right behind him, so Michael's going to have to watch his back, certainly on the last lap.
Brian McCormack on treble 1. Great to see him at Cookstown. Dunlop with a good advantage. Well, it was 2/10 to a second at the end of lap 7. 9 laps the distance, of course. Just on the approaches of that lead there is Michael Sweeney. Still holding third place, so he has managed to make his way past the other riders from the third wave. So it looks as if Michael Dunlop is going to add another victory here at Cookstown 100. Ryan Farfar and Perry Davidson are the most successful riders around this track. They've won here more times than anyone else. But the last lap flag goes out for Michael Dunlop. That gap is 3 seconds.
I was just going to say, Michael looked like he was pushing on a little bit harder there to sort of break this up, and I think he's just taken the fastest lap, actually, looking at that.
125.09. So on the last lap, Michael Sweeney providing the pictures as we power down to Gorton again. Michael Dunlop continues to lead that advantage over Derek McGee. 3 seconds at the end of that lap. There's still a mile or so to go, and here he is into Mackney. But this will be 12 wins at the Cookstown 100 for Michael Dunlop, which will mean he has one more than his father Robert, and one more than his uncle Joey, and just 2 less than achieved by his brother William. It'll be 12 victories in all. So here he comes then. Just the right left-hand flip, and it will be victory for Michael Dunlop, his first of the day, and you can bank that there will be more to come. This is Michael Dunlop to take the checkered flag at the Cookstown 100. What a ride on the Ducati. Superb. 12 wins in total now. Only his 3rd Supersport victory. But yeah, Michael Dunlop is still the man. So the scores on the doors, with Kevin Keys from the second wave finishing 5th overall behind Darrell Tweed. Michael Sweeney 3rd, Derek McGee in 2nd, and Michael Dunlop takes the win.
Michael, how nice to get the first road racing win of the season under your belt.
Yeah, it was good, yeah. A couple of boys have been out in races before, so they knew the condition of the road, and to be honest with you, it wasn't great. The condition was okay, dumping areas, but I made a setup for the wet, and we just struck an intermediate, so we should have had a slick tyre on, but no, the bike was good. It just sort of stayed in the mood. It didn't want anything stupid, and then the last couple of laps are very good stuck in here, so we've done a couple of laps and I wasn't sure who it was, Michael or Derek. I wasn't sure, so I just kept pushing on.
It doesn't matter how many races you've won and how big a races you've won. When it comes to the start of the season, winning is nice. It's about building confidence, isn't it?
Aye, it's building confidence, you know, and look, it's just here. It is. That's what it's all confidence. That's what it all is. You know what I mean? And you know, it's just I haven't ridden this bike now since 3 months ago, so I was just to try and get better into it and try it on the road to see what it was like. So I'm really happy there, and it's good for the boys.
Yeah, were you happy with the performance of
Yeah.
that machine? I mean, looking ahead to bigger races.
Yeah, we're limited in gearing. My fault. Gearing didn't come in time, so we're quite limited. But the bike seems okay. A couple of changes now I know have to make to move forward, so we just have to keep at it.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Derek, great start to the day, a win and a podium.
Yeah, fantastic. No, I couldn't have asked for any more in my return. So, yeah, got some nice bikes under me this year. So, really enjoyed the first Motor 3 race and the battle race on bike. And yeah, went out in 600 and had a good battle there with Mickey. And just unfortunately, we got caught with back markers at the end. I was hoping to have something for the last lap for him, but we'll get a shot again sometime.
Yeah, it felt like you were nudging ever closer during the race.
Yeah, I had a spot where I was thinking for the last lap, and but you always know Mickey would come back. But yeah, shame.
And how quickly have you eased back into this? Because it seems to have been effortless after so long away.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's been easy, even today I'm still getting used to it. I haven't done much riding in the last couple of years. The last 4 years I've done 3 races, so not much, but we're getting there. We'll get back to where we were.
Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much.
So a victory for Michael Dunlop and onto the top step of the podium. He picks up his first trophy of this new road racing season, and I have no doubt there will be plenty more to come. He's not out in this next race, the Super Twins, and it's Michael Sweeney who's in pole position.
We have a couple of non-starters on the back of the second wave, 32 and 97, not going out, but we are about to go. And also, it's worth remembering, the Cookstown 100 is where Supertwins were first introduced, and what a success story they've been. As away we go, and it's certainly a wheel up in the air from Darrell Tweed. However, McGee keeps his front planted as they go down, so he goes from 3rd place on the grid into first. Or does he? It's going to be Sweeney.
Yep, Sweeney on the Aprilia, swept across the outside of him there.
Just left the brakes off just a moment longer. Next wave gets away. 19 is your boy Yeardsley, Chris Palmer.
Yeah, they put him on the second wave, which I know he's not too happy about, but he's if he gets a good clear run, he should be able to pull a good result out of this, hopefully.
And that's not just because of qualifying times, is it?
No, it wasn't the quality. He actually was second quickest in the wet yesterday, but it wasn't classed as qualifying. It was just classed as practice. But I know he was hoping to get on the first wave, I will be honest with you.
That's what Sweeney here on the brakes. So Tweed getting away superbly. McGee looked like he had the whole shot as they got into Gordon. It was Sweeney, however. Now they've settled down on this opening lap of this reduced to 7-lap race, and it is McGee who leads. Derek McGee has the lead.
I think McGee's really got the bit between his teeth here, hasn't he? I think he's got a point to prove. The fact he's had sort of 6 years off and he's back with it, and he's back with a bang, really, to be fair. Be interesting to see what the Aprilias are like against the Kawasaki down the straight, the start-finish straight, to be fair.
Well, we're about to find out, Chris, because here they come. So the blast down towards Gorton. So Sweeney just tucking down as tight as he can. That big, tall frame of his. Not really answering your question, though, is it?
No, there's not that much in it, to be fair. I thought the Kawasaki might just have the legs on the Aprilia. The Aprilias are known for like not having as much mid-range push as the Kawasaki, but interesting.
That was Ferber on bike 80, really flying into the turn at Gorton.
And that is one of the 700 Yamahas, that is.
Yeah, the R7. Which we thought perhaps there might be a few more of.
Yes, I did think they'd be more popular, but the Aprilia seems to have sort of taken over from that
manufacturer.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ER6 Kawasaki dominated Twins, but is it all about to change? Not as far as Derek McGee is concerned on Ryan Farquhar's bike. Ryan Farquhar, of course, the most successful man around Cookstown. with 26 victories, only matched by Barry Davidson. So McGee already with a win, and Sweeney staying with him. So they're coming down to Orator.
There's not much in it there, is there?
There is not much at all. So there was just a tenth of a second between these two at the end of lap 1. And I would suggest there's going to be a tenth or 2/10 of a second between them at the end of lap 2.
I think the handling of the Aprilia has always been famously good for the chassis and the design of the chassis. So yeah, it's nice to see that continue.
McGee though, who is continuing. It's just as if he hasn't been away. However, gets that wrong.
Yeah, ran wide there. Is he going to get? Is he going to? No, he's still back in front.
Back. Managed to get back in time. But again, you've got your markers coming into a place like Gorton, of course. They come through. Out of McAdoo. Really tight through here. The run down to Macney. The angle of the camera certainly makes Sweeney look further back than he actually is. So into Macney to go. McGee from Sweeney. Again, as I've said, Chris, it's overtaking's a minimum here, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously really narrow, and there's only really one racing line through there. But it's it's interesting to see where they can and can't pass. To be fair,
that's just that little rise by the tree there at Blacks.
Oh, that was
McGee
close to it there. Yeah.
So did McGee just maybe slow down a little bit for the turn and Sweeney carried the speed through? But here they go anyway, and Sweeney a lot closer this time than he was in the previous lap. Can he use this slipstreaming? So Michael Sweeney has 7 wins to his name in the past. First came here in 2010. Sweeney!
Oh, they both went wide.
Right. Again, well, in short circuits, etc., you would get a blue flag, and yet on the roads, blue flags waved by marshals to let the riders know the quick guys are coming through. It's still not an option. So it's still Derek McGee from Michael Sweeney. No change in the order. Kernahan still in 5th behind Joe Yeardsley. Conditions improving as well.
Sweeney just seems to take a little chunk out of him just coming into that corner, doesn't he?
Into Crossroads and out, and again deja vu. It's pretty much as you were. And again, Sweeney, as we go on to the last lap, Sweeney could just be waiting to show his hand, and he might do that into Gorton now as we look at Tweed coming round. So Darryl Tweed coming round.
Having a good ride in 3rd place there, again on an Aprilia.
So there is Joe Yeardsley, bike 19.
Yeah, Michael Garn there on the 222 bike. Kawasaki.
There's 7 laps the race distance, they've completed 6. McGee just has found a little gap over Sweeney, so if Sweeney did have any cards to play, he certainly hasn't got any more to use, and maybe just a little wide out of Macney there as well, perhaps, but here they come. But it looks as if it will be another win for Derek McGee at Cookstown. It will be the 5th of his career on this circuit. He came into this meeting with 3 under his belt. Really stretched out now. So there's the man still in 3rd place. But we're concentrating, and quite rightly so, on Derek McGee. He comes down towards the checkered flag. There he is on bike 86. Takes the win. Michael Sweeney, a superb effort from Sweeney, has to settle for 2nd place. Well, this is how it finishes in the end. Andy Farrell, Barry Furber, Neil Kernahan and Joe Yeardsley. 10 seconds down on Darryl Tweed with Michael Sweeney 2nd, Derek McGee the winner.
Yeah, it was a good race, really enjoyed it. Derek's bike just had the legs of mine. I was trying to bring it all back on the brakes, and then when we got to the straight again, he was able to put a couple of bike lengths on me, so he just had the legs on me just on the back section. But yeah, great day so far, and yeah, the KMR Supertwin was flawless in that one, and thanks very much to Jack Reed and all the sponsors. I'm very happy with that one. Great race, really enjoyed it. Yeah, there wasn't much between the bikes, and yeah, really enjoyed that one, Michael.
Well, next up, it's the open race for the big bikes. Michael Dunlop looking for his second win of the day, but he's still searching for a superbike solution for the bigger races coming up, the Northwest 200 and Isle of Man TT. So he's out in this one on his 2025 BMW Superstock.
7 laps the race distance, the sun continuing to shine here. Unfortunately, McGee is not there, so no Derek McGee. And no Whitehall either, but it is a cracking start by Sweeney. Sweeney blasting away, so too McCormack from the second row. Dunlop with a foot out, but Dunlop into second position as they go into Gorton. Cracking start by Michael Sweeney. Dunlop second and McCormack into third, Chris.
Yeah, good start from him for sure. He'll be pleased with that.
Keys number 5 getting away, no 38. We're on board with Julian Trummer. Austrian into Gorton on the superbike.
Oh! Wow.
Wow, well, welcome to Cookstown, Julian Trummer.
That was tight.
That was very tight, a little nudge as well. Meanwhile, out in front, out at Mackney, it's still Sweeney from Dunlop. McCormack in third, Kernahan in fourth place on bike 109. We're looking back from the race leader.
Dunlop with the watching eye there. It's obviously a lot closer than it looks on the camera there, but he's just keeping an eye on the job, isn't he? Just settling in nicely.
Into Craig Mount, Sweeney from Dunlop, and maybe for Dunlop, not so much about winning, but what the bike's doing, perhaps.
Yeah, he'll be assessing the situation. He'll be analysing everything that's going on. Obviously, he's up against another BMW there, so he'll be all the time learning, all the time assessing the situation. Actually, he was getting sort of left down the straight there slightly, but he's on a stock bike. I don't know what spec Sweeney's BMW actually is.
So here they come out of the Orator Crossroads down Braeside, down this long straight. We're back with Julian Trummer again. This time looks like he's got a little bit of road to himself as he comes to Gorton.
Obviously some 600s are mixed up in all this as well.
Yeah, well, it's the open race,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Superbike, Supersport machinery. And again, you could argue that it's not really a Superbike track, is it? You know, apart from the run down to Gorton.
Yeah, it's a real tight. It's tight round the back, isn't it?
And here we are, round the back. Let's listen to those beamers. We're back on board with number 5, Kevin Keys, just coming in to Mackney. He's just looking to see, in fact that is Whitehall. I thought Whitehall was a non-starter, but obviously I was wrong, so my apologies for that. Meanwhile, Dunlop making no apologies for sticking behind Sweeney out of Craig Mount.
Just having a good look at him here, isn't he? He doesn't look like he's under any pressure. He looks really relaxed on the bike.
And again, just letting Sweeney do the hard work, so to speak, letting Sweeney do all the sweating. Sweeney will be aware that Dunlop's behind him, and sometimes that can be a big pressure job. In fact, here goes. No, not close enough. Or is he?
I think he is.
He's going for it. Mike Dunlop is going for it as Sweeney tucks in. I didn't think he'd be close enough.
Right across his nose there.
I didn't expect it to be that close.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's just
Oh
gone.
my goodness me.
Big crash there.
My goodness, that's at Mackney. So they're moving. That's good to see. And a red flag. So it is a red flag. The race has been stopped. And the news is Damien Horan was the rider who crashed. He has been airlifted, we understand, with a few fractures, but he is fine.
Well, there's been some superb action in all different classes today. Here's a roundup of some of the winners.
Beginning with the senior support race, a mixture of Suzuki, Ducati and Yamaha. Honda's, Triumphs, you name it, they were in there. But it was Canny who took the checkered flag ahead of Brolly and Lavery. In the junior support, it was Brolly who would get the better this time of Canny. Then, in the classic superbike, Darrell Tweed would take the win on the YZF 750 against a host of Kawasaki's. In the senior classic, Andy Hornby on the Triumph 750 took the 1000cc. Nigel Moore on the Sealy G50 500 in the 500 class.
Well, the last race of the day is the Cookstown 100. And some of the sport's best known riders have won this prestigious race, including 5-time world champion Joey Dunlop and road racing legends Philip McCallum and Ryan Farquhar, who will add their name to the Roll of Honour today.
So here we go then, away they go, and again good start from Sweeney, again just tentative from Dunlop, just weaving his way through, but it looks like, oh
Wow.
incredible. McGee's there, Kernahan's there, McCormack back in 5th position, Chalk is there on bike 10, Whitehall at the back, but it is Sweeney from Dunlop from McGee. Next wave gets away, Keys on bike number 5, Barry Ferber on bike 80, and we're on board again with Julian Trummer on the Kawasaki.
Really impressed with Kevin Keys. He's riding very well at this meet.
Yeah, he's had a good day so far. A better start for Trummer this time.
Michael got blocked in at the start there, but he was very keen to get back into second and just get onto the tail of Sweeney, wasn't he?
He was getting, here we go, watch this, he's getting some heat in these tyres, isn't he? As he weaves his way around, just doesn't get away. But there, powers past, gets on the front.
Yeah, very keen to get into second behind Sweeney there.
So Sweeney leads. Oh my goodness. Michael Sweeney with 7 race wins to his name. Had those great battles with Dominic Herbertson at Cookstown last year. And now he's looking forward to another one here with Michael Dunlop.
It was interesting to see Sweeney's bike really unsettled on the landing after the jump there.
So then, can Dunlop BMW power its way past? Here they go. Down towards Gorton. Oh, here we go. He's got him. Absolutely. Maybe more racecraft from Dunlop than actual machinery power.
Michael sliding it in as usual. He likes to get the bike out of shape, coming into corners. I think he thinks it unsettles the other riders, and rightly so.
So Brian McCormack just goes through. We've got to wait, of course, for the other guys from the second wave, the likes of Kevin Keys, to come through. In fact, Keys has slotted in time-wise. He's 4th behind McGee and ahead of Kernahan and McCormack. At the end of lap 1, it's Sweeney who leads, or Sweeney who led, I should say, until Michael Dunlop made that move. So here we are on lap 2, going through Mackney.
McGee on his 600, hanging on to them though at the
He
moment.
is, well again, it's only really down the fast bits that you would lose out on that 600. He can certainly stay with them again. Sweeney coming up with the spectacular. Here's Craig Mount, Sweeney staying with Dunlop. Again, this is where McGee will struggle, won't he, to just stay. They go down to Alan Orator, Brayside into Gorton.
3 or 4 seconds a lap, really, to be fair, 1,000 time to a 600 time, really, but he is on a really good 600, so he should be able to hang on maybe better than some of the others. Oh, nice little pass there.
That's Ken Keys, and that is Whitehall, who began in the first wave.
Yes.
So he's already in amongst the first wave of riders, Kevin Keys. So you were right, Chris. You said before how impressed you've been with Keys, and he's certainly backing that up with another performance in this, the big race of the day.
Yeah, he's riding very well. Michael having a look over his shoulder there, just keeping a close eye. Michael's bike landed a little bit nicer than Nico Sweeney's there.
And because of that, he's just made a little bit more of a gap over Sweeney. So here's Whitehall with Trummer right behind him. So he's managed to get past Julian Trummer. I don't know whether Trummer's had an issue somewhere, but was just run on perhaps at Gorton. Meanwhile, we're back at Gorton. Here is Dunlop from Michael Sweeney, still in second position. McGee still holding a strong third as well. But Kevin Keys, that's who we're riding with now. The previous lap he was a couple of seconds down on corrected time on Derek McGee. At the end of lap 4, it's Dunlop who leads Sweeney by 0.6 of a second. McGee is a further 9 seconds down in third. And another 4 seconds back is Kevin Keys. Well, it looks like the Michael Dunlop show. Ooh,
Yeah.
Perfectly the way he turned it in there. You're just thinking, oh, he's going to take it out to the curb.
Visibly using more road than he has been, so he must be getting a bit more confident on the bike, to be fair.
I can remember Michael, a young Michael Dunlop, coming out of that turn there and taking it right out to the air fence, kicking up the dirt, and I called him then the Raging Bull. Well, Dunlop continues to pull away from Michael Sweeney. It was a couple of seconds at the end of lap 5, the gap between these two.
Again, he's closer to that curve than he has been, so yeah, he's definitely pushing on now.
And you could
You could physically see the difference, couldn't you?
Well, I think Sweeney knows there's no point in pushing. He's not going to catch Michael Dunlop. So here comes Dunlop then. The last lap flag is out. One more lap to go in this reduced race distance. So he can have fun now, can't he? Look at those eyes at the front there.
Yeah.
Right on the fairing. So yeah, business as usual for Michael Dunlop. Of course, you've got Julian Trummer is behind Ryan Whitehall, but Ryan Whitehall, of course, began in the first wave. Julian Trummer was in the second wave. So Julian Trummer just inside the top 10. Ryan Whitehall's down about 15th place. But Michael Dunlop looks like job done.
Taking a look back, making sure he hasn't got any pressure from behind.
Got some other riders up ahead of him, and he'll make his way through safely. So just the right and the left, then the checkered flag for Michael Dunlop. And already he's caught up with Trummer. So there goes Michael.
Through, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, there he comes. So here he is. The crowd cheering on their hero. It's another win for Michael Dunlop at Cookstown. That takes him on to 13 in total. Sweeney, a great second place. This is how they finish. What about that for Kevin Keys? 4th overall, ahead of Brian McCormack and Neil Kernahan. Derek McGee 3rd on the 600. Second, Michael Sweeney. Michael Dunlop, the winner.
Next up, it's the Briggs Equipment Northwest 200, and you will not miss a thing right across the BBC. All the qualifying and racing is live on the BBC iPlayer and also live globally on the BBC Sport website. We've live radio commentary of the racing as well on BBC Sounds. And we'll bring you 3 television highlights programmes on BBC One on May the 9th, 11th and 12th. All of those shows are available on demand on the BBC iPlayer as well. But it's been a cracker at the Cookstown. I look forward to seeing you on the North Coast. From all of us here, it's bye-bye.